A new investigation caught Mike Pence, Trump's VP, in some questionable acts as governor of Indiana. Questionable to say the least. IBT reports here, as casino industry cash went around Indiana's anti-corruption laws and into groups supporting Mike Pence's campaigns, the GOP governor used his power to help gambling interests. An International Business Times map-light review of campaign finance records shows that despite Indiana's statutes officially banning gaming industry donations to state officials, Indiana gaming interests gave more than $2 million to groups supporting Pence since he first began running for governor. That includes gaming-linked lobbying firms and their employees donating nearly $500,000 directly to Pence's campaign account. Okay, so before these donations happened, Mike Pence runs as a religious conservative, as a far-right kind of guy, but hey, we're in Indiana, moral values, family values, so on and so forth. And in fact, he went as far as to pledge to basically crack down on gambling and not let it expand because it's bad for morality and ethics and yada, yada, yada. You know their shtick that religious brand of conservative likes to go on about. So that was his position then. After he took the money, he signed multiple bills to expand gambling. Now, let's be clear. I'm pro-gambling. I wish it was legal nationwide. The point is, he flipped his position based on the money. And if you're willing to flip it based on stuff like this, when he was trying to take a principled stand against it because he thinks it's harmful to morality for whatever fucking reason, and then he flips to being for it just because he got the cash, well, that's Mike Pence in a nutshell, and that's going to be Mike Pence on every issue. So, and this isn't to exempt the Democrats because we all know Hillary Clinton is just as guilty of this as anybody else. But it's to show, yet again, it's not like Trump and Pence are immune to it. Fuck no. They may very well do the exact same thing if they were to get elected. So, a classic, standard, disgusting, corrupt, insider, elite politician. I'm taking a stand against this. Oh, you gave me money? I'm taking a stand for this. You know what this reminded me of? It was Lindsey Graham and some other politicians who took money from Sheldon Adelson. And we had, online gambling for a while in the U.S. was kind of thriving. It was a pretty big industry. I have friends who got rich playing online poker. So you had Sheldon Adelson, who made his money from casinos, donate to Republican politicians. Republican politicians shut the whole online gambling thing down. Now, again, you're like, what? Why would that happen? Sheldon Adelson was donating to them. He's in favor of gambling. Yeah, but he views online gambling as his competition. So all of a sudden, he flipped on a dime and he's out there making arguments and paying politicians to make arguments that, gambling really hurts the family values of people in this country. What are we going to do about the kids? These poor kids, they're growing up in an environment they can lose all their money to gambling. Gambling really shouldn't be legal online. Still coming to my casinos, bitch. They're awesome. But online, terrible. No, get rid of it there. So it's all fake. Like, if you think these Republican politicians and the Democratic politicians, you think they're actually having a debate of ideas and competing philosophies, and I stand in this position on this issue for reasons X, Y, and Z. I stand on that position. It's got nothing to do with that. They don't have core values. They don't have principles. They're greasy, sleazy, disgusting, grimy politicians. That's what they are. So, hey, I go where the money takes me. If the money's, all of a sudden in favor of gambling, well, fuck all that other shit I said about how I'm religious and I'm against gambling. Now I'm for gambling. That's Mike Pence. And it's going to happen on virtually every issue. They could say whatever they want. Oh, yeah, TPP is so bad. Let me tell you, I'm so against it. Wait until all the money starts flowing in from all the different companies involved in TPP. Then you know what they'll do? And by the way, I think Hillary would do the same thing. They get the money. They go, oh, look, we tweaked 2 or 3 provisions in the TPP. This is the new TPP. It's not the old TPP. This is a great trade deal. This one here. Pass it. This is what politicians are all about, man. This is what they do. So the answer is you got to get all that private money out of the system because it's a cancer upon the system. If you have elections that are clean by law, namely public funding of elections, well, then who are the politicians going to represent? If it's you and me and Grandma Maud down the street paying the politicians, they're much more likely to represent you and me and Grandma Maud. But if it's fucking ExxonMobil paying them, if it's the defense contractors paying them, who are they going to represent? They're going to represent them because they're the one that are paying them. So you ban private donations, you do clean elections, and you're much more likely to have a government that represents the people. It's not that wild. It's not that wacky. It's a common thing. I wrote my thesis on it when I was getting my political science degree. There are countries that have much cleaner systems than we do. It really is a no-brainer. And the odds of a politician rising above the systemic corruption that we have, slim to none. I mean, there are a few. Bernie Sanders, to the best visibility, rises above it. Ron Paul, actually, to his credit, the lobbyist notoriously, infamously would pass his office because they're like, that guy ain't going to do shit for us. Because he's actually principled and he's even against corporate welfare, not just welfare. But Ron Paul, Bernie Sanders, you could point to some people in the Progressive Caucus who really managed, even in this grotesque system, to not get corrupted. But 99.9% of those politicians are fucking corrupted. So we got to change the system.